Welcome to this training on informed consent in the Comprehensive Class Member Transition Program provided by the UIC College of Nursing. This training will enable comprehensive program staff to understand and explain the informed consent process, obtain informed consent from class members, and respond effectively when class members cannot provide informed consent. Informed consent. Policy T0.2. The Comprehensive Program Policy states that class members must be fully informed of their rights and how their information will be shared within the comprehensive program before they begin the transition process. The informed consent document is the method by which the program ensures that class members understand this. Prime agencies are responsible for obtaining informed consent when they initially contact class members after receiving the referral from Maximus through Assessment Pro. A new signed informed consent is also required if a class member previously rescinds an existing informed consent or declined the program and is re-engaging in the program. If a class member or their guardian refuses to or is unable to provide informed consent, the class member will not be able to proceed with the comprehensive program, and the prime agency staff should follow the procedures contained in Policy T0.2, Declined Outcomes. Because guardian consent is a necessary component of informed consent for class members who have a guardian, prime agency staff should first confirm whether a legal guardian exists when engaging with class members to obtain informed consent. A legal guardian is an individual who is appointed by a judge to make decisions on behalf of a class member. If prime agency staff observe that the class member appears unable to provide informed consent due to impaired cognitive functioning, they should confirm the class member's guardianship status with the facility administrators. Prime staff should also review the Maximus Transitional Assessment Summary and gather documents from the facility to support their suspicion of limited cognitive ability. Prime staff should also notify the facility's assigned ombudsman of the class member in question and document this notification in a web app note. Prime should also document in the web app note that the class member is unable to consent and does not have a legal guardian. Finally, prime agency staff must report this outcome to the IDHS DMH Organizational Monitoring and Support Unit for review. A key factor in obtaining informed consent is understanding the content of the document fully. Understanding the document is necessary to be able to explain the document to class members or their guardians and to answer the questions posed about it. So let's take a closer look at the informed consent document. The general information section of the document explains the purpose of the informed consent. By signing the document, the class member is agreeing to participate in the comprehensive program and proceed to transition. The informed consent document goes on to review the eligibility requirements, responsibilities of the class member, and their rights. Transparency and disclosure by the class member throughout the transition process is crucial to identifying the class member's supportive needs in the community. Comprehensive program staff should strive to foster rapport and communication that supports these elements. Communication with the member, their guardian, or power of attorney as applicable regarding informed consent and information about the transition process should be summarized and documented in a pre-transition contact note. The note should include that the member was able to understand and recite the purpose of informed consent and their rights. The informed consent document explains that if the class member proceeds to transition, staff will engage the class member in the development of a comprehensive service plan that details the services and supports the class member will need to be successful in the community. Comprehensive program staff will also help the class member find housing, coordinate needed services, provide support, and monitor the class member's progress. The class member does not lose any of their rights in the nursing home or SMRF because of their involvement in the comprehensive program. If facility staff or anyone else tries to pressure the class member not to participate in the program or to stay in their current facility, the class member can report it to the comprehensive program staff or the facility's assigned ombudsman. Retaliation against class members by facility staff or comprehensive program staff is not permitted. IDPH will investigate allegations of retaliation and take corrective action if necessary. The next section of the document discusses how the class member's information is shared and used, and the surveys that are conducted as part of the process. The class member agrees to share their medical records and other important documents related to their needs or services, and acknowledges that these will be reviewed by the comprehensive program staff. All rules and laws regarding confidentiality, including HIPAA, will be obeyed. The class member will be given copies of documents explaining their rights, the appeal process, and how to file a complaint. This is covered in the comprehensive program fact sheet and the rights and appeals document. In this section of the informed consent document, the class member is also consenting to share their information with individuals or organizations associated with the comprehensive program, including entities outside of their direct care providers. Some of the organizations included in this scope are the Consent Decree Plaintiffs and Court Monitor, the UIC College of Nursing, Illinois Department of Health Care and Family Services, the Department on Aging, the Department of Public Health, other comprehensive program providers, and housing locator and service agencies. Prime should document that the member understands all the different entities that collaborate and review their information as part of the CCMTP process. Prime should also document that class members understand that they can rescind their informed consent at any time. Outside of the group of entities discussed in the previous slide, the member's information will not be shared without the member's written consent. As part of the informed consent process, the member also acknowledges that they may be asked to answer surveys or participate in interviews about their experiences. However, these are optional, and the member can decline to participate without affecting any of their other services. In summary, comprehensive program staff should verbally review the informed consent document and its contents, and ensure that the class member has enough time to also read the document in its entirety. This information should be provided in the member's preferred language and method of communication. Comprehensive program staff should be sure that the class member understands that they have a right to change their mind about the comprehensive program at any time, even after signing the informed consent. They can communicate a change in decision to their comprehensive program staff at any point. The member also has the right to refuse to sign the informed consent document. They should understand that their refusal to sign the document will mean that they do not move forward in the comprehensive program. Comprehensive program staff should be sure to fully answer any questions the class member asks and provide plenty of time for questions while reviewing the informed consent document. If you do not know the answer to a question, you should find out the answer and communicate it to the class member before they sign the document. Finally, after ensuring that the member or their guardian has no further questions and understands the document, you can obtain their signature. If a class member has a legal guardian, the legal guardian's signature is required in order to be effective. The informed consent document requires a witness signature. This should be the person obtaining the consent. However, if the member is physically unable to sign the informed consent, they can provide verbal consent if two staff from the prime agency or the nursing facility or SMRF sign the document as in-person witnesses. Clearly note on the document that the member provided verbal consent that was witnessed by these two individuals. The document should also note the reason why the class member was unable to provide a written signature. All signatures, the class member, guardian, and witness, should be obtained on the final page of the informed consent document. Be sure to print the witness's name and relationship to the class member, for example, prime agency staff. After signing, the class member and their guardian, if applicable, should receive a copy of the informed consent document for their records. Document in a note in the web app that these copies were provided. Current versions of all comprehensive program policies and forms can be found in the web app library, and educational resources can be found on the Colbert-Williams training website, managed by the UIC College of Nursing. Any questions can be directed to the Colbert-Williams Help Desk, linked at the bottom of every page of the Colbert-Williams training website. Thank you for your attention and efforts to ensure safe and successful class member transitions.